What's going on, everybody? Tuesday, Show Me the Money Club, live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And you can catch the replays on YouTube as well as all major podcasting platforms. What's going on, Sergio? How you doing today?
How are you, sir? I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you. We're another week, another dollar. And so, I had really good feedback actually from last week's State of the Union in rideshare. A lot of people liked it, and I think we need to do that more often. So, but I'm doing fine, thank you.
I think in a couple of weeks you'll be able to do that.
Well, that's
I won't be here. So
yeah, I know. Well, I know you break the news to the crowd, so they have to deal
I think
with
everybody
me.
knows that, but either way, yeah. No, we're having the baby's coming soon, so in a few weeks I won't be here for a little bit. But Sergio will have to hold down the fort, so he'll have to hit the go live button and all that stuff. But yeah, other than that, it'll be good. So a couple of weeks off probably to tend to the newborn, but other than that, yeah, I think that would be
nothing more important than that, sir. Nothing more important than that. RSG can wait.
Family first, always.
No
All right. I don't know about you. I had a good weekend. Bills won. The first half, though, was kind of a little sketch, but the second half, they were really finding their strides. So it was good to see them pull it out 34-10. I don't know if you ended up watching the game or not.
I watched the highlights of the game.
Nice.
I can't watch a whole football game because 60 minutes lasts 4 hours. I just can't do it. But it seems like Bills had a stock chart. It had like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and then 2 steps forward. So it's like we're making higher highs, higher lows. We're doing good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trend is good.
Yeah. It was looking a little iffy there too. It was I had a diaper party before the game, so I had a couple of people over to hang out, watch the game and all that. And it was like the first half we're just like, oh, this isn't looking good. But then it really got into their stride, and it was actually ended up being pretty good. So I can't complain about that.
No, 5-2 now, right?
What's up?
They're 5-2, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, we have big deal happening in the West Coast and New York, right? You got the World Series, Dodgers versus Yankees. That should be good time to drive for drivers. Actually, that should be really good. So don't go to Dodger Stadium in the waiting lot and pick people up there. Please don't do that. You will never get out of there. So don't do
it. That's anywhere. That's including like Bill's Stadium and even downtown for the Sabres where they're playing. It's such a hassle trying to get them and get out. So it's like, okay, I'll just drive around.
Look at that.
Yeah, you know that.
There you go.
I'm skippity.
Tax deductions. claim 3 dependents now. There you go.
Now I just gotta convince the wife of number 4, and then even better.
Oh, you're like
so there's a show that I like listening to, and he keeps saying that if you have 3 kids, you shouldn't pay any taxes again. If you're married and have 3 kids, no taxes. I approve that message.
I approve that message myself, but I only have 2, and they're all going to college, and I'm paying for it. So I'm a little late for that. But so you're in the Elon group. Populate the planet.
Yeah, damn straight. Well, we all know that other parts aren't, so got to do what we can to keep it going.
Yeah.
Plus, I want my Social Security down the road.
Hey, man.
Keep it in house. Keep it all in house.
Congrats, bro. Congrats. Well, it's a wonderful thing, really, having kids. You had 2 already, so it changes your life. It really is. So, but Sergio, time for retirement. What are you talking about, bro? I'm as sharp as ever. Enrique.
Hey, I could be. You could be playing golf anywhere in the world, Sergio. You could be playing golf anywhere in the world, but you come here.
I am definitely going to retire. I'm going to retire in the next 7 years for sure, because I'm going to take my Social Security and bye. I'm not even going to go. I'm not even going to another state. I'm just gone. Bye. All I need is a fast internet connection, bro. That's it.
Truth. And right now, you got like Starlink version 1. I could only imagine in a few years they probably boost it, and so it'll be like Starlink version 4, and it'll be like Wi-Fi 7 and Thunderbolt 5 and all this crazy shit. So it'll be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. Anyway, so can I mention before I forget, because I'm kind of a forgetful mood. Tomorrow, LA drivers, whoever here is, it is whatever. And I'm gonna be at LAX 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. There's gonna be a taco truck, free tacos,
Ooh.
Taco Wednesday. And I'm gonna be there, so come down, say hello. We'll take some pictures. We'll shoot the shit. And more importantly, Lyft crew is going to be there. They're throwing the pop-up. They call it a pop-up. It's going to be at the LAX holding lot. I don't know how the heck they're going to do that, but I'm sure they got a permission for it. And Jeremy Bird, who I interviewed 2 weeks ago, is going to be there. So he's the head of driver experience. So he's the man.
Tony.
Yeah, sure, man. Whatever you want,
What's up?
Tony. Mr. Beard.
How about you gotta send me with that too.
Yeah, well,
You gotta airship them to Buffalo.
well, I'm definitely not
you know
going
what?
to McDonald's.
Hey, I heard they were the best fries that McDonald's has ever put out.
Apparently not the quarter pounders, bro. I mean, stock is getting smashed. CDC says no more quarter pounders. They got E. coli. I'm like, actually,
Well, that's kind of like
one person
waffles.
died. Huh?
It's like the waffles, man. They got listeria going in them, and it's a huge chunk. I think it was like something like 300 million or something were recalled.
Well, this is going to be pretty big because already 1 dead, 10 in the hospital. So oof. God knows, McDonald's. But then, with these big companies like Chipotle went through that, remember?
Yeah.
And that was the buying opportunity of the century on Chipotle. Look where Chipotle is today. So all these big companies weather these storms. And
oh yeah.
So if you're interested in McDonald's stock, maybe in a couple, 3 weeks or a month, you guys should add it to your portfolio. So there you go.
Well, all I know is no McDonald's for me. It's Five Guys. That's the way I go. So
yeah, sure. I won't go to McDonald's.
The best fries, because he give you so many. Oh my God, they give you so many. It's ridiculous. I love it. So
yeah.
Speaking of, by the way, last political thing I'm going to say on this, there is somebody who is actually now officially going on Rogan this Friday.
Yes.
So it's recording. I don't know if it's going to be out, but I want to see both the candidates, not just one, both candidates on Rogan, have a nice 100%. Conversation, 2.5, 3 hours, especially right around the election coming up in a couple of weeks, which makes sure, again, you go out and vote, do your civic duties.
Please.
I know Five Guys is expensive. Actually, you know what? Five Guys they kind of raise their prices, but nothing compared to like McDonald's and some of these other places, Wendy's. So honestly, Five Guys, percentage wise, is actually closed the gate a little bit compared to what they were. So
yeah, I mean, look at Five Guys. At least you're getting something that tastes like a burger. And McDonald's, I'm not even sure what the heck you're eating. So,
well, plus they make it right there in front of you, so that's always.
It's not frozen, I don't think either. So, but no. Look, man, it is what it is, and so tomorrow, LAX, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I'll be there earlier. I'm going to try to grab a scheduled trip or something to go to LAX early, have my cup of coffee, and just wait and say hi to you all and take some pictures. Maybe I'll probably live stream a little bit. I could do that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I would. Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool.
Not too bad.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's get the rundown. All right, so what we're going to be talking about, the service animal dilemma. It's overwhelming what's going on, some of the things there we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about what does the behavioral economics of Uber drivers reveal. This is right up Sergio's alley, of course. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be talking about is Lyft bringing back primetime surge pricing. We're also going to be talking about Sergio's investigation into Prop 22 continuing with Uber floating the money. Uber still is complaining about insurance, the commercial insurance rates. We're also going to be talking about the results of the polls that we put up over the last week. Thank you for everybody who voted in the poll and commented their thoughts. We had quite a bit when it comes to that. And of course, we're going to have to use that when it comes to breaking it down with Jeremy when he comes on over the next several months. He's going to be coming on a few times. I think we're trying to do once a quarter and really talk about those 4 issues. So we did earnings and safety, deactivations, and support. So we have a lot to talk about, and looks like he's going to have some job security for several years, unless they actually do some things. So we're going to be talking about those polls, though. And then we're talking about Lyft's top earning drivers' advice. What are they saying? And is there anything new or not? So,
yeah.
good stuff.
Well, at least they're doing something about it. You know what I mean? Uber never does that, so Lyft at least is doing it. So, Bonzro, did you order it through the website, RSG, or through YouTube? I don't know. So email Chris at therideshareguy.com. He's in charge of merch.
Am I?
You know,
I have nothing to do with the site. I can only look at it, possibly look at it and give you an idea. But
it's POD.
that's
That's
up
why.
to
No, it's
Teespring.
POD. It's POD. Yeah, you'll get it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's up to Teespring.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could do is kind of look at it and see, maybe
Yeah.
on the order. So, yeah, to get hold of me anyway, and I can try looking. I don't know if I can give you any more information except for trying to look.
Yeah.
We can go from there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So
All right.
we're gonna do these, and then please thumbs up, please. There's a couple hundred of you here already. We need a couple hundred thumbs up at least before we finish today. And yeah.
Right. And then we just have a couple of announcements. Yes, kindly like and share the show. It helps reach more drivers, so we can help them and make sure everybody is on the right side of things when it comes to not being taken advantage of, not being the unhappy little ants, thinking that they have to accept everything when in fact, reality, they don't have to. Unless you want to, of course, that is up to you. But just knowing that, I know a lot of drivers didn't know that they could just deny every ride if they wanted to. So yeah, either way, please kindly like and share the show. We can appreciate that. Also, if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy the channel and would like to support RSG, become a member and support the channel. And also, if you know somebody who speaks Spanish, RSG is in Spanish, so you can check out the Rideshare Guy in Espanol. And Sergio, I'm going to be talking to you right now. I know you're going to LAX where there's a lot of Spanish-speaking drivers that are going to be
Yes, sir.
sitting in the waiting lot there. You should
Yes,
be
sir.
showing them RSG in Espanol,
We
and
will. I
get a
definitely
couple of
will.
people there, so then they know what's going on too, because we put
Yeah.
all of our videos, we dub them, and yes, actually, the Hey Gen is going to be starting up very, very soon, so it's going to look like we're actually speaking Spanish, which is pretty crazy.
With the
And
lips
then,
matching?
what's up?
With the lips matching?
Yeah,
Wow. Enrique,
it's
I just
wild.
said it. The LAX holding lot. How else can I say it? Where you wait for the ping with 480 other people. That's what I was told. So if you go there, we're not there. I don't know, but they told me LAX holding lot. The
Look
pig
for
pen.
look for the taco truck.
Look for the taco truck. Look for my shirt says hashtag know your worth. Look my RSG hat, and then you'll find me. So that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous. I am. They got to come to Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, small market.
Yeah, it's a small market, but you got to represent. The Uber did an event here.
They did. Well, DC, they did a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago.
No, I mean Uber had a driver event here a few years
Really?
ago. They did it.
Oh.
Yeah, they did it at the Buffalo Bills Fieldhouse. They had a Christmas party, so they invited a bunch of drivers from all over the area, basically all over central and western New York. I believe some in Pennsylvania as well. And yeah, it was pretty big. It was nice.
Okay, see, they keep asking me, okay, listen, people, just go to the LAX holding lot. No, they don't. They're all together. They used to be like that. They used to have their own parking lot, but they commingled it. So it's one lot, the big one. off of whatever that street is. I'm gonna be there. You guys cannot miss me. I'll be there. So I'll be there early. Come for the tacos. Come for whatever. We'll just have some fun.
All right. You ready to get started?
Yes, sir. Let's get going.
All right. So let's talk about the service animal. What's going on with all of this crazy stuff?
This must be that time of the year again. In my app, in my app. I mean, this is a big headache for a lot of full-time drivers. I get it. It's an ADA thing. It's a federal law. So the companies can't do much about it. My biggest concern with all of this is I have zero problems accepting a service animal in my car. None. Because they are well trained. They know what to do. They just go sit in the wheel well there, behave. And we know, unfortunately, 80% probably of the dogs or whatever animal you're using it for, service animal, they're not trained. You can tell. They start barking, yapping, jumping up and down in my back seat. I'm going like, no. But then that gray area gets muddled, right? And then when somebody walks in your car say, oh, it's my service animal, you can't question it, honestly, because if you do and they complain, right, they'll boot you off. So I don't know. I mean, I really would like actually the chat to figure this out for me, because it's a huge dilemma. I mean, you have to accept them, right? And again, I have no problems accepting service animals. But when people start bringing some unruly animals in my car that you 100% know they're not service animals, but they go like, oh, it's my emotional support dog, it's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro.
Emotional support dogs don't count.
I know, but they do it. And then, they tell Lyft or Uber, you tell them, okay, I'm not taking you. And what do you think they're going to do, Chris? They're going to boot you, at least suspend you.
Well, here's the big thing. When it comes down to it, the best thing that you can have is a dash camera that is on, rolling, and capturing the audio of everything. You need to have a dash camera. In fact, there's a couple of dash cameras that we put in the description because I knew that this topic was coming up. And, one of the biggest things you need to do is have a dash camera. We've talked about this so many weeks. So many times Sergio gets emails and says, hey, I got deactivated from this. You do anything? First question he asks, do you have a dash camera? You need to have a dash camera because guess what? They're unbiased. They don't care. They don't lie. They tell it what happened. So if you're able to have this recorded conversation where it's showing a little floofy that is my emotional support dog that is not a trained service animal, well, then you have proof right there that that person is lying and they don't actually have a service animal. So yeah, there's things around that, but it's a way to cover your ass on multiple fronts. This is just another one of those. So please get a dash camera no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. I have Display Ride for the last 18 months. Super happy with it. Go to Display Ride's website. I use RSG code for a massive discount on the monthly. Yeah, I have allergies too, but if it's a service animal, you must take it regardless of allergies. You can take a doctor's report, send it to Uber, send it to Lyft. It doesn't mean shit. You could have an hypergalactic shock or attack or something, hit a wall, doesn't matter. Yeah. Now the new thing, not new thing, but I'm seeing quite a bit on videos is that they're just coming, brake checking you, and then reversing into you, and then holding their neck and coming out of the car. I'm like, what the hell? You need to have a dash cam. That's the fraud that they're doing now.
Oh yeah. So you need to have a dash camera on any car you drive, whether it's rideshare or not. That I have it on both my cars, of course, and I wouldn't not have it.
Actually, it is, Jeff, especially on the West Coast. It's massive because everybody has a goddamn pet here. Little barking chihuahuas that was their support dog or whatever. But anyway, so I really, I mean, you have to accept them. And even if they're not a service dog or animal, and you can tell they're not, you still you can cancel and move on, but now you're risking them saying something to Uber and getting you at least suspended, if not deactivated. And because they will do that. They will do that. Yeah. Well, it's a federal law, so Uber and Lyft really are just passing it along. That's all they're doing. That's all they can
Yeah.
do. I mean, I don't see Uber and Lyft too much at fault here. It's federal guidelines. And you can, yes, you can. I do it every single time, right? You can't ask for paperwork or anything, but you should ask. I think there's two legitimate questions you can ask to figure out. And so feel free to do that. But I think ultimately the best thing is dash cams for sure. You know, I mean, you're driving up to the rider, right? You have this dog that's jumping up and down outside the car already. That dash cam is going to grab that, and then get in the car. Dash cam is going to grab that. So I have that. So, you know, I mean, that we do have obligations, obviously, under ADA guidelines, and you're required to transport riders with service animals. Gotcha. Various state and federal laws prohibit drivers from denying a ride. I get that, especially to blind folks who have a seeing eye dog. I mean, I'm all there, right? Service animals are now legally required to wear a tag. We know that. Unfortunately, they probably should, honestly, or display proof. Okay. If you or someone in your family is allergic to dogs, there's your question. I forgot your name, but you were saying it. You may want to use a towel or seat cover, or you will sneeze your life away for the next 15 minutes while that dog is in your car, but you will
Well,
have to
one
do
of the
it.
easiest thing to do, just grab a Claritin or a Benadryl and just keep it in the car just in case.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it. I've had one actually. I could tell this huge goddamn dog. I could tell this dog is no way is a service dog, because the girl didn't need, like, she needed servicing, to be honest with you. I drove by once, and then going around the block, I'm thinking, okay, cancel, move on. Then I go, okay, let's not do it. I went around, bro. That dog effed up my seats, bro. I'm jumping up and down. I'm going like, this is the biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. So, tips when serving people with disabilities. Okay, ask riders if and how you can help. Yeah, okay. And but my concern is that gray line between service animals and people who bring their animals into the car, and act like they're service animals.
Yep.
So good luck.
The one thing I would be interested to know is if a person is lying about a service animal, you're committing fraud essentially.
Yep.
What would the ramifications be of something like that? Because you're
None.
claiming ADA, but yet it wouldn't apply to them.
Yeah, we're drivers, bro. Nobody cares, honestly. But I do understand Ubers and Lyfts. They're just passing on the existing federal law. But so
I'd be interested if there was like a civil lawsuit that could happen, because
yeah,
basically you're claiming something that's fraudulent, not real, and you're trying to claim that it's a service animal when in fact it's not.
yeah.
And if you get deactivated from that, I could imagine you could try to sue them for damages.
Well, you can take him maybe civil court. I don't know.
Well,
For
that's what I mean.
unjust termination, loss of earnings, whatever. I don't know.
I would love to see something like that, only because it would definitely put a little bit of a damper on people trying to do that, and claim that they're service animals even when they're not, because it would put them in a liability issue because they're lying, creating fraud, and if they want to say something about that passenger, or I'm sorry, the driver, not accepting the ride, then they could turn around and get sued.
Yeah,
I mean,
right there.
I'm not for all the lawsuits, but literally, I mean, something like that,
I
they're basically
mean,
using something that's not compliant to them, and trying to use the ramifications to get a free ride for their animal, or pay less because they don't want to do pet ride.
I mean, that's
Oh,
why they have
and
Uber Pet, right? If
yeah.
yours is not a service animal, you use Uber Pet. Then we know to take the ride or not to take the ride. But most people don't do it. They don't want to pay that extra, whatever, $5, $6, $8, whatever. Not that drivers are making that money. Use Uber Pet, but people don't. And there it is. We'll finish with that. So many emotional support dogs, exactly, I get are wet and sandy from the beach. Took one this weekend, and it shook all over. Lyft refused a cleaning fee despite super wet seats and sand all over. There you go. That's the downside.
Mhm.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. There is no winners here for the drivers anyway. So.
Yeah. Honestly, my dog is, but both my dogs have like some separation anxiety from me. I mean, it's cute because they like come to me and they're so happy when but I would never deem them to have like emotional support or anything like that. And then on top of it, I wouldn't put them into a car or something like that if they're not going to act proper, because if they cause damage or anything, I don't want to be that asshole.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. I don't understand some people. Some
it is
people
what
just
it
suck. That's it.
is. Well, that's the world that we live in.
Yeah. Dealing with customers, son of a bitches.
Customer's always right, baby.
No, the customer is always wrong.
Well, according to the TOS, they're our customer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I
Whatever.
mean, you still got to be ADA compliant when it comes to
Yeah.
real service animals, but when it comes to little Fluffy here, who is the little yipper ankle biter, not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I am just every time I go to pick somebody up, I'm like, please, no dog, please, no dog, please, no dog. And then you go, you know what Jeff said is true. Not that many. If you do if you're full-time driver, if you're doing 30 trips a day, you'll probably get one a day. In California, in LA, you will probably definitely get one a day. Especially if you're working the Hollywood area, Santa Monica area, those, girls with their little poodles and shit. But
Mhm.
yeah. Anyway, so let's move on.
All right. So, when it comes to behavioral economics, what is that showing when it comes to Uber drivers?
This one I sent it to our good friend Len. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Len said, "What a useless article." And
Care to
who wrote this
elaborate?
article? Stephen Meyer. Okay. Um, he wrote this book, The Employee Advantage: How Putting Workers First Helps Businesses Thrive. So guess where this guy works? This guy actually is Len's boss at Columbia Business School.
Oh shit.
And then he was
I
like,
thought you were gonna tell me not Costco.
no, gosh. This guy actually studied. He was hired as a consultant at probably $5,000 an hour by Uber. Okay, and see, this has been going on for a while, Chris. We keep talking about it, that everybody has a little file at Uber, and the algorithmic wage discrimination and all that stuff, right? And this guy actually went in there and with Uber people, they studied it. Like, why are people declining this trip, and what can we do to make them more attractive, and all this stuff. So long story short, I'll read like the one paragraph out of this. Until I decided to study the company closely, I had a lot of misconceptions about what it meant to be a typical Uber driver. I thought, for instance, that a driver got into their car whenever they felt like it, opened the app, and then selected from the dispatches that would come in, going from passenger to passenger until they decided they'd work long enough. And while it's true that drivers can do that, what I didn't understand was that taking such a passive approach would result in them making very little money. In order to, this goes like, meaning he's going like, we should cherry pick. In order to have higher earnings per hour, EPH, drivers need to make critical decisions, particularly about when and where to drive. And then there are decisions about whether you should accept every dispatch or instead be strategic about where you drive. There is much more skill involved in making those decisions than originally thought. Segmentation based on behavior and attitudes allows Uber to target its different drivers in different ways. There you go. For drivers who want to maximize their earnings but do not know what the optimal neighborhoods are, the company can support them in their decision-making process. But for those who value other aspects of the job, like flexibility or convenience, Uber can provide non-monetary incentives that support them. Not just Uber, but every organization can improve the employee experience by understanding the differences within their workforce and personalizing their approach to each individual. So
You know
if
what they
this
do with
doesn't,
personalizing? They
yeah,
actually give the ride request to each driver to the lowest possible that they'll accept it at, and we call it algorithmic wage discrimination.
you bet. And this
Look, all right.
proves right there. And this guy worked for, I'm pretty sure, $5,000 an hour, and this is all he could figure out. It's really important, Chris, where you work. It's really
Well,
important not to
look,
take every trip.
here's the thing. You know what? Honestly,
Really? Is that what you guys came up
you know,
with?
with complete
Oh
respect
my
for
God, look
Len
who's
Sherman,
here. Look who's
for
here.
complete respect to Len Sherman, the one thing I would have to completely disagree with him on this, when it comes to saying it was a useless article. And the reason why I say it's not a useless article is because this is showing you what the average normie thinks. This is what the new driver thinks. This is what the customer thinks. So if you want to make changes or anything like that, you can't target drivers. I'm sorry. We have a very small voice when it comes to the grand scheme of things. If you need to make changes, you have to work with the customers and you have to make a problem that is their problem, and you have to be able to solve that problem. It's sales 101 essentially. And this article proves what people really think. So that's how you can start talking to your passengers, by using this type of mentality and then trying to curtail that conversation on the way that you need to in order to make changes or enact some sort of, getting that passenger on your side or anything like that. So honestly, I think this could be a very good look at it if you're looking at it from that angle.
Yeah, I think the article kind of proves that what we've been saying for a long, long, long time on this channel, which is, Uber is studying you every single day, every single hour you're out there. Start studying them, because I've been saying this since I started at RSG for the last 6 years. When they zig, you need to zag, because if they zig and you zig, you're zigged, you're screwed. Don't do it. So they're studying you, spending tons of money to figure out what your behavioral patterns are, so they can fit you in that group that maybe accepts everything. But this guy is talking like this is some sort of an epiphany, that, oh, you shouldn't take everything. It takes a lot of work that goes into. Yeah,
Well,
it does.
my question is, how did he figure this out? Did he talk to a couple drivers? Did he talk to Len?
Probably
I mean,
not.
how did he figure this out?
They
Or
looked at data.
or did he actually get behind the wheel and start driving to see whether this is something or not?
No, they looked at data, billions of trips worth
It
of
had to
data,
have
and
been,
they
yeah.
said,
It
yeah,
had
this
to.
guy's doing that. I mean, you know what I'm working with these days, Chris. So um, cherry picking is a huge problem for these companies, by the way. So you guys know,
Look,
you guys should know that.
here's the other thing too is not just Uber, but every organization can improve the employee experience or the
Yes,
driver experience by understanding the differences within their workforce, personalizing an approach to
yes,
each. Yeah, they do that to their advantage, not to the driver's advantage. And with that being said, the other side, or where was it? For the drivers who want to maximize their earnings but don't know what optimal neighborhoods are, the company can support them in their decision-making process. But those who value other aspects of the job, like flexibility or convenience, Uber can provide non-monetary incentives to support them. I'm sorry, but
absolutely.
dude,
What
show me the
what
money.
what what
Show me
would
the
they
money.
be?
Don't show me
What would
some
they be?
non-monetary incentive.
What
That's
is
not going
that?
to get me to do anything. What's going to
What is
get me
that?
to do something is some money.
I know.
Um,
What
the
is that? I mean,
reality is,
I actually, you know what? Maybe I should call Len and say, have this guy come on the show, Stephen Meyer. Stephen Meyer, I have a hookup. Len knows you, so maybe we should have you on the show and have you explain how you came up with this genius conclusion of yours that we've been saying
it's
here
like
for,
it's
like, I
it's
don't
like
know,
the
forever now.
utopia thought. It's like,
Yeah,
well, if we only did it this way, this is how it would turn out. The problem is these companies have one focus in mind, and that is profit. to appease the shareholder, to make sure that they're happy, to collect their pension, or not pensions, but their bonuses, their stock options, all that stuff. They want to make sure that they're getting the profit and they're doing a goddamn good job at it. But the problem is they're screwing the passenger, they're screwing the driver. It's that
Yeah,
plain and simple. But
that's how they do it.
here's the thing. We tout and talk about the Solo app a lot on the channel, and
Yeah.
this is a perfect example of that. These companies, Uber and Lyft, will not show you the best places to go, the best times to go on. The Solo app can, because it takes all of this data and aggregates it into your area that's personalized. So you're able to see the areas that you can drive in, that's going to help you with the most money. It's going to help you maximize your earnings. So this is something that's going to be a lot better for you to do than trying to rely on something like Uber and Lyft and some of their tools that they have. It's great to have those tools, and if you use them, you can, mix it all together to find out the best information or the most information, and then you can decide where to go and what to do at that point. But you got to throw in other avenues that will help you determine, the results that you're looking for, which is like using the Solo app.
Yeah, that's one. But to me, nothing replaces actual experience. Nothing replaces actually doing it. You got to do it. You got to pay your dues. And if you don't want to pay your dues, you watch us. We're going to feed it to you. But the important thing is, seriously, when they zig, you need to zag. You need to adjust. You need to pivot. You need to amend your game constantly with these companies, because they are doing it on the back end. So, but that's, I will get in touch with Stephen Meyer through Len. Say, hey, Len, bring him up. Let's see if we can talk to this guy.
I would, you know what? I think we should try to have both of them on at the same time, so we could have like a little debate show going on here.
I don't know if Len will do that publicly, but I did send him to him, and then he asked, that's trash. I was like, oh, okay, fine. But anyway, so don't do what Uber wants you to do. Okay, figure out your city, figure out the rhythm of your city, figure out the best times, places. You guys will survive and you will thrive. I'm telling you, even in today's market, we do our surveys, top 10% drivers in the same exact city at the same times of the day are 2x plus than a bottom 10% driver. Why? Strategy matters. You need to have a game plan. You need to have a game plan.
You got to have a game plan, and then you got to have backup plans.
Yep.
Saying.
Yep. So thanks for
All
Stephen. Right. We'll get him on. We'll try to get
we should have him on. But let's move on. Let's talk about an oldie but a goodie: primetime pricing. And for new drivers out there, you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Surge pricing back in the day on Uber used to be 1.1x to 5x, sometimes a little bit more, but you wouldn't really see too much higher than that. Then it went to flat rate surge. This is on Uber. Same thing with Lyft. They had a percentage, and it was like 100%, 200% prime time. And it was always welcomed when you saw some prime time or some surge come. And it looks like it may be back. I don't know. What are we seeing out there? So this is in the Cleveland market on the left screenshot.
Cleveland and Florida.
Yep.
Well, Ohio and Florida. So, okay. So, I got mixed feelings about this. Initially, I thought, okay, prime time is back. It's really cool. But then a few drivers emailed me saying, hey, man, what are you talking about? This is a rate cut. I'm going like, how's this a rate cut? I don't know. The jury's out on this. First of all, pros and cons. All prime time was great when we had a rate card, right? I knew I was getting 200x or 2x on, 200% or 2x in Uber's case with the multiplier on certain time and distance. Okay. Well, we don't have that anymore. So, but we also know with upfront fares, all the bonuses you guys are getting, turbo, blah, the surge, it's all replacement of the fare. So when there is turbo, the fare is, Iago is pricing the fare incorrectly, as opposed to if there was no bonus on it. So to me, this is okay as long as, okay, so there are a lot of people, like, for example, myself, I have not had turbo or a ride challenge for months, maybe over 6 months now. Okay, I get it. They give it to the drivers that are more full-time, they do more trips. I get that, and it's fine, justifiably so. But when I look at this, I like it just for the fact that it kind of equalizes the playing field for between the people who have and have nots. But then I also see the point now of a lot of drivers when they push back and said, Surge, well, if we have a flat rate surge, let's say you're doing a $5 trip surge and you caught a $15 surge, that's a $20 trip. On a $5 trip, you have to catch a 300%, surge or PT prime time for you to get the same thing. And it's never going to go that high. It's like 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. But then it's more available all throughout the day because turbo, let's say, is only available in a 2-hour window in a certain, part of the city or whatever. My thing is this equalizes the playing field, but I think ultimately, I agree with the drivers who pushed back. I'm not going to say I'm wrong, but I agree with them as well that this could be a cut, because if I was hunting for surge or bonus in Lyft's case, and I have a $10 bonus that I'm carrying, right? I do a shorty, that's $15 for me. Well, now if I catch a even 100%, that's going to be $10. So it's a $5 cut. So I'm kind of leaning towards that this is not a good thing after thinking about it for a couple days. What do you think?
Both flat rate and the percentage when it or the multiplier, we'll just say the multiplier, that's what it was. Honestly, they both have their pros and the cons. They both have the time when one's better than the other. And there's different times when it works, when it doesn't work. So let's be real. Uber and Lyft do things for themselves and not necessarily for the driver. So with that being said, they might be testing this to see how drivers like it and seeing the gamification behind it. So seeing, 20%, 50% instead of $1 can have a psychological impact on somebody, saying, oh, I can get that a little bit better or something like that. Not realizing that they can just change the base rates how they want. So honestly, until I actually see some trip receipts showing, the prime time pricing versus like the dollar surge or something like that, that's really the only way you're going to be able to figure out if this is, going towards a pay cut versus not. Honestly, like I said, Uber and Lyft, they're not doing things in the best interest of the driver. They're doing the best interest for them. So time will tell.
This is a pilot in at least a couple cities that I know of, or states. I haven't seen it in LA because LA doesn't surge anymore anyway. I'm pretty sure it's going to surge, or whatever you want to call it. Halloween coming up and Dodger games and things like that. There are a lot of events going on next couple of weeks, and culminating with Halloween, right? I mean, Halloween, I think, has replaced New Year's, honestly, for me anyway. I think you make a lot more money than New Year's Eve. But this kind of, time will tell, but I'm leaning towards this being a cut. Now, this may help if you catch a 50, 80, 100% PT. Why am I saying PT? Prime time. I'm so used to saying PT. Prime time. On a long trip, this may help, right? I mean, if you're going to do like $70, you catch 100%, that's $140. Okay, fine. But again, a lot of drivers also said, Serge, you said it on other bonuses, such as Advantage versus Standard, or now Lyft has a preferred driver that we talked about, right? 5% over what, right? So this comes down to that too. 30% over what? Or 60% over what, right? We don't have a rate card. So I don't know. I'm kind of, on the fence about it, but I'm leaning more towards being a rate cut.
Yeah, I'm always under the impression, hey, let's take a look at the screenshots of receipts first and see what's going on there. That's pretty much the only way you're going to figure out how it's going.
Averaging $50 an hour. What city are you in, Craig Luscoon? Or are you just trolling everybody here? You're going to get killed in the comments now.
We'll see.
Yeah, this is it right there. Surge today has nothing to surge of the past. That I agree with. Yeah, I miss those days that I used to catch a 300 PT going from West Hollywood to LAX, hunt for it honestly, and then we had a rate card before the last cut. That would be like $100 trip from Hollywood. Now that same trip on base is like $15. So I'm like, yeah. But anyway, we'll
All
find
right.
out.
Well, put in the comments what you think. Is this going to be a rate cut, or is this good? Are you a driver that's newer that has never had primetime pricing or never seen the percentage? Let us know. But my favorite was when it was 100, 200, 300%, 400%, 500%.
Yeah,
That was the
good old
best.
days.
Not this
That
20,
was a
30,
good old
40
days.
crap.
That's a good question, sir. Yeah, they fixed it. What?
Update your app.
Update your app. Mine is fixed now. I don't know, man. You guys think it just fixed it for me? No, that's impossible. Now,
Well,
if
here's
that's
the
the
thing.
case,
Actually, you want to figure it. There's a way you
Chris,
can figure it out.
no,
And
but
that
if that's
is
the case, they just fixed it
screenshot.
for one single driver, then we know this proves everything. Everything we've been saying here disproves it all.
True, but get the look at your app version. I bet it's like 4.0833192S.
Okay.
And the S is for Sergio.
Are you telling me that they did it just for one driver out of 4 million? Are we down to that? Then this proves everything.
Well, hold on. Half the drivers drive with an iPhone, the other half drive with an Android. So the drivers on iPhone don't have that option. You can't have an app that overlays itself. It doesn't allow it on the iPhone.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna look into it. I know who to call on this. Okay.
Well, hey,
okay. No. I look.
Honestly, no. Look at your app version, Bod.
I can look at it now. While you're talking.
Yeah. Well, put your app version in of what you have.
Okay.
Look it up. You can find the app version on your phone.
Yeah, I'm going to my
put it
Uber
in and see,
the
and then that way we can actually verify between. Also, put what you're running, your OS.
I'm gonna give you all of it. I'm gonna give you all that. Just hang on, people. Hold on a second. This is important because then it will prove everything I've been saying. That they're down to single driver. They can target a single driver to shut me up. Is that what's happening here? I'm not sure. I don't think. I cannot imagine.
Why couldn't they? I mean, seriously, why couldn't they?
Could they? They took engineering hours to fix my freaking app. Just one, me? No, bro.
Yeah,
come on, bro. Come on. No, I wouldn't. Well, so draw over other apps is off, so it was letting me go on. Version 4.496.1000.
Wait, what was it? Go ahead again.
This is the version, Uber app version. 4.496.10,000. That's the Uber version.
Okay, so because because it's 10,000 or the 6, it's going to be Sergio only.
Are you serious? I'm going to find out.
I don't know. We'll see. We got to wait. We got to wait and see what his is.
I don't know.
But yeah,
but I will find that out. And the version of the version of the Android I'm running. Where do I get that?
It should be just under your general
settings.
settings.
About the phone. Okay. Yeah. Software information. Okay. I'm running One UI 6.1, Android version 14. That's about it. The build number, a whole bunch of numbers and this and that. And Knox version 3.1. And last update was October 1, 2024. So
we got somebody who's running 495 10,000. Uh-oh.
What was mine?
Yours was 496.
Oh,
so
shit.
It's 4.496.10,000. This one's running
so 6 is me.
495. So it's that's a different version. but I'm wondering what.
Oh shit! Look at this.
There you go.
Oh shit!
Charging the road. So for the ones who are running,
Oh
who just put in the
shit!
4.495s, is your app most up to date? Is your
Mine?
OS most up to date?
I didn't even update my Uber app. Well, actually, I updated it today. It was an update today, but this was fixed like 10 days ago. Well, I will find this out, people. So I am the special. I'm the special one. There you go.
Oh man, they found you, and they're like,
you'll take a
putting it
hike.
in
I'm
your
just,
phone.
I'm just
Yeah, look at this. Everybody, wow, you got an early one or something. Samsung
special
S22. I
treatment.
think that's what you have too, right?
I'm the chosen one, baby. Special treatment. There you go.
Oh
I did
shit, look at
send.
this right here. EMZ just said 495, 10,000 is the most up to date on the Android store, man. They got you, bro. They got you dialed in. They said, we're giving Sergio the updated one alone. The only update that you're going to have 496.
Okay, so okay, all right. Hey, they fixed it for me. Don't cry. I'm happy about it. It pops up. I'm all good to go. Okay, no, I will definitely find out about this. That's bullshit. If they just fix mine and they go like, oh, yeah, I'll just fix him. So he stops tweeting that he's boycotting Uber. And then Cory Doctorow keeps retweeting it. He gets like 30,000, hits. I'm going like, okay. So they go, and I even said, victory. And I'm going like, now it seems like, no, see, everybody's at 495, 10,000. Shit.
Somebody's got a
Okay.
4.485. You got to
All
update
right.
yours, Mel.
I will get it fixed for you all. Don't worry. You will all have 496, 1,000, 10,000. All right. Well, now we know.
Oh, man. Or everybody's got to go on X and start tagging Sergio and me.
Your volume is gone. What happened? Did
What's
I
up?
lose you? Oh, your volume got cut off. Okay. Everybody has 495, 10,000. I have 496, 10,000. Okay, fine.
There you go. So that's the Sergio one. What I say? It's either the 10,000 or the 6. That's different. Damn.
Okay, fine. What do you want me to do? Just cancel it? I have 496, 10,000. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm guilty. What do you want me to do? It's not like I'm going to feel bad about it. I mean, you guys will get it at some point. What the hell? This is what happens when you have connections, people. I can get you all deactivated.
With the swipe of a finger.
Just a swipe and the app will not work tomorrow.
No, just because we're right by Halloween, it's I got the Harry Potter and the wand. El Deactivoto.
You're all deactivated. Aren't you guys all complaining anyways? Just stop doing this.
Look at that. We just found out something here.
Something we didn't want to find out, actually.
What is going on here? Uber, you got some splaining to do.
Okay, yeah, watch me get a call from Uber tomorrow. You idiot!
No, you idiot. You didn't think we'd find out.
Hey, I'm fine. It fixed it for me. I'm thankful. But now, I'm gonna get it fixed for you guys. Okay, don't worry. Now that I know it, yeah. Hey man, you guys don't know 10% of the shit that happens behind the scenes. So this one is, this one is not on me. I'm always looking out for y'all. I gave 4.485 update. Look, okay, I get it. Okay, special treatment. I deserve it. I got you guys all that money. What do you guys want?
Well, now all you guys just have to keep your Uber app on top.
Yeah.
Everybody Sergio and iPhones don't.
That's a good point. Yeah, potentially. They probably put some shit in my phone that is just watching me constantly now. Probably
so they'll watch you, they'll listen
my
to
Google
you.
Drive and shit. Yeah, there you go.
Trying to understand. Actually, it's funny because I was watching a video that was posted the other day, and it was basically it was an Android phone that they were taking, and they were trying to see what apps were pinging websites, and if they weren't like supposed to or anything. Amazon was the worst offender because it just kept doing like ad clicks, and so it was basically just tracking your phone and stuff and pinging multiple times. Uber was on there. They downloaded the Uber app. Uber was on there. Uber did a couple of shady things there back to
Well, I do
themselves.
good, I get shit. I don't do good, I get shit. Look at this. Mr. Gambit says they must be treating you like the tweet of that's 100%. Hey man, I ain't pulling punches. I call it the way I see it. And that boycott must have worked. So okay, now I'm gonna get it fixed for you all. If not fixed, I'm gonna get you guys, let's say, this. Okay, I'm gonna get you guys the choice to toggle order off the override. How about that? That would be cool, right? So Uber, we have work to do. Just you know, I'm no special. I mean, there you go. So yes, there we go. Yeah, that's me. I work for Uber. Next one is going to be next one. They're going to go, oh, Sergio's Uber shill. I was like, okay, cool. Hey man, they threw a bone. Why are you all jealous? Is the iPhone app better? Yeah, you don't have these kind of problems when you have an iPhone. See what I mean? There you go. It's like, move on. That's it. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Well, I'm on Google Play's website, and I'm looking. The Uber driver app had an update that was updated yesterday.
There was one today. Huh? There you go. Creekside Rock Music says justice prevailed. They did it. Well, you know, you guys know they watch every single show, right? Live.
Oh,
and then
okay. Here we go. Hold on.
496-10,000. There we go. Creekside. You saved my ass right there. See, one other person has it. So that means it wasn't me, just me.
Okay, yes, but here, hold on. Let me. I'm on.
Let's
Google
move on. Let's move on.
Hold on. I have Google Play Store on right now, and I'm looking up the versions. So it says varies with device. So that's why you might not have the 496 or the 495 or 85 that we've been seeing. So that could be a possibility, and that's straight on Google's website. So,
so I'm not special at all then. Huh, Uber? Is that what it is? I'm not special. Okay, screw you, Uber. I'm calling you guys tomorrow. Yeah, they don't like my tweets. I even get like, hey, why are you tweeting that? I'm like, I don't know. It's my phone, my Twitter. It's free country. First Amendment.
well, you know, we thought we had something here, but it turns out it was just a big little
boot you, Devo. I'm gonna boot you, Devo. I'm not using a Nokia from 10 years ago. I'm using a brand new Samsung S23 Ultra.
Man, I'm using a Nokia from 20 years ago.
I would like that,
pay to go ones.
You know, they're
burner phones.
all the new generations, they're all using flip phones now, supposedly. I don't know, whatever. Hey, look, it'll get fixed. Dude, don't worry.
I'm looking at getting a Google phone. I'm not dealing. I don't like the telemetry and all that bullshit.
That's okay. So I'll get it fixed for you guys. Don't worry. Hopefully by the end of the month we'll get it fixed.
Yep.
Let's move on.
All right. Well, let's move on after that. Let's talk about this is probably why they're actually giving Sergio his own app, and that's probably because they want to know what he's talking about.
Oh my God. Are we really going to do this, Chris?
He's investigating into the Prop 22, floating his money from week to week instead of just paying him out the freaking night it should be. You know, I fall under that as well, too, because of New York State. But either way.
Okay. So
what are we talking about here, Serge?
2 weeks ago, I talked about how they float the Prop 22 money, correct? Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Uber, this is specifically to two people. All right, Chris, I want you to look at the first screenshot. Okay?
Yep.
So after floating my $152.36 after the past 2 weeks, which was $137 and some change, okay? So they floated 152.36.
You know what I'm learning about you right now, Sergio?
What are you learning?
You're not that good of a driver. If you're getting this type of money,
this is deliveries. This is deliveries.
I'm just screwing with you.
No. I honestly, if I drove, I don't think I could do better because the algorithm is pricing everything at Prop 22 anyway. Seriously, bro. Unless you're Mr. Gambit kind who just snipes, waits for 4 hours and does a 3-mile trip for $80. You know, I don't have the patience. So this is deliveries. So anyway, but look at this, okay? Tell me on the first screenshot, what day is October 17th? And the money showed up on October 17th, 12:19 p.m. What day is October 17th on the
A
calendar?
Thursday.
Okay. What
Which
day did they on the weekly earnings statement 2 weeks later? Why, Uber, why do you put it on Tuesday? Okay, these screenshots were simultaneously taken. Not only you're floating my money for 2 weeks, Uber, okay, it's not bad enough. Now, I drive very sparingly, and that was my Prop 22 money. Multiply that times, I don't know, 500,000 delivery drivers, maybe more. How much money is that? That's a lot. That's 70, 80 million dollars that you guys are floating and getting 4% T-bills on it. But besides that, Uber, all of it is it's okay. I got the money 2 weeks later, but then you have the audacity to put it in my app that I got it on Tuesday, which it used to be. And then you floated it to Thursday. You kicked the can down the road for 2 more days. So there's 2 extra days of float money. But look what they do in the app, Chris. They say they're paying you on October 17th, but then they put it. You see that big bar? See that big bar where it says 152.36? Oh, specifically, I didn't do any deliveries on a Tuesday because I knew the shenanigans that they're pulling. They're paying me on the 17th. Why don't you, Uber, put that big bar on the 17th, on Thursday, the day that I'm actually getting paid? Why are you making it look like I got paid on Tuesday? Why? Huh? Think we're just dumb here? See what they do? This is the game that they constantly must play. For one reason or another, they have to play this game. So because most drivers are not as skeptical as I am, probably, they're happy to get that $152.36, right? And it shows up on a Thursday. But Uber, with their shadiness, they will go put it on Tuesday, and I catch it. Uber, be a man. Put it on Thursday because I got the money on Thursday. I didn't get it on Tuesday. Why are you putting it on Tuesday? Huh? So it looks like to the drivers, because they only look at the bars, the weekly earnings, and it's like, oh yeah, I got the money on Tuesday. No, you didn't get the money on Tuesday. You got the money on Thursday. So with that said, Uber, fix this. This is all bait and switch right here. If I'm getting the money on Thursday, put that damn bar on Thursday. So I know I'm getting it 2 days later. Don't make it look like I'm getting it on Tuesday. Okay. We're going to change that. So, they play these games, bro. I just don't understand why. Just put the damn thing on Thursday. And I'm going to continue doing this, by the way, until you guys fix this as well. Because
I have a better idea. Stop
what's the
floating
matter?
damn money for 2 weeks and then trying to add days to it. Just pay out at the end of the day. You could do that. But we all know it's getting them a little extra cheddar on the side because you're giving them a free loan.
Every trip, Chris, every delivery trip is priced on base at 50%. Every trip. Okay? And then they price it at 50%, but thank God to generous tippers, you do the trip. Okay? Tip baiting, we're not even going to talk about it. But you do the trip, and then they have to wait 2 weeks. Actually, now it's more than 2 weeks because it's Thursday. It used to be Tuesday. You have to wait 2 weeks and 2 days to get your money back that you were supposed to get while you were doing that, $3 5-mile trip. But then on Prop 22, that's $8. So they hold your $5 for 2 weeks and then they give it back to you 2 weeks later.
I can only imagine the Uber boardroom. How can we make more money? Yes. Oh, how about we only pay drivers half of the amount that they're supposed to make, and then we'll give it back to them down the road a couple of weeks later, and we'll take all that extra money that we've got from them, and we'll go play some golf and get some balloons.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because this is not just Uber, by the way. This is DoorDash. This is Lyft. This is Grubhub. This is Instacart. This is all the gig companies in California are under Prop 22. DoorDash only keeps it for a week. DoorDash pays you a week later. Uber and Lyft are the only two that hold your money for 2 weeks and 2 days now, 16 days now. So Uber, don't do it this way. If you're going to pay me Thursday and I'm working and I'm agreeing for Thursday, put that bar on Thursday. Don't make it look like I got paid on Tuesday. Okay?
I think
Seriously.
the bigger travesty though is the fact that they're pricing the rides at 50%
They are.
so that they can float that money for this couple of weeks
They are.
instead of
It's
just
so
paying out
obvious.
the way they should be.
Yeah. Just why don't you price it, Uber? Why don't you price an $8 trip $8 instead of giving it my $3? You hold the 5 for 2 weeks and then give it back to me 2 weeks later. It's so obvious to me that if I see a ping, okay, I'll see a ping, Chris. It'll be like $10 trip. It'll be 3 miles and 15 minutes, right? Okay. So in my head, I'm going, okay, the base on this, Uber is going to pay me $3. But I know 15 minutes in California under Prop 22 is $5. Okay. That's $20 an hour, basically. Active hour. So it's 5 plus the mileage is 8. But Uber pings it at 3, but there's a $7 tip on it. I do it anyway because then it's $10. So tip comes in. Now that on the base, instead of supposed to be, it was supposed to be 8, now it's 3. Now I have to wait for that $5 for 2 weeks. That's what they do. Just ping it at 8.
All the
What's the
games,
problem?
man. It's all the
That
games.
way you don't have this accounting, you don't have the top off, you don't have all this shenanigans, but then they do it because they mess up like we did with the mileage adjustment that we got drivers hundreds of millions of dollars like last May, right? That's what they do. They do all this shenanigans until somebody notices it. Like, okay, we'll fix it. I'm like, yeah, fix this, Uber.
Oh,
Don't
we'll
mess with
we'll
me.
fix it for now, and then don't worry. When you're not looking, when you're not paying attention, we'll just go back to it.
Well, a lot of drivers, most rideshare drivers do not get Prop 22 top off, but every single delivery driver gets Prop 22 top off. And they get their own money 2 weeks later, 2 weeks and 2 days later. Because they're doing this in Massachusetts. They're doing this in Massachusetts. They're doing this in Minnesota starting December 15th. So every state that has a Prop 22 or a clone of it, that's what they're going to do. They're going to hold the money for 2 weeks, float it, make some interest, and then pay it back.
Yeah. What a racket. All right. Well, I hope we'll have more investigations into what that's going and all that. So I look forward to seeing that. Now we know why. Now we know why Sergio has a different app compared to everybody, because they want to see what he's saying and who he's talking to and all of that.
Yeah, they have an app that they can destroy my phone. That's what I'm actually more concerned now that I have a different app than all of you, which is like, okay, Uber, if you can do this, how about this, Uber? App is on. I'm doing deliveries. Why don't you send me all those juicy ones? Huh? No, you keep sending me $3 trips. So obviously my app is not that special, Chris. Because if it was
now
that
it is,
super
it's
special,
496 versus 495.
Yeah, it's what's so special about it? There's not damn much. If it was that special, maybe you can arrange me some of those juicy ones, Uber. Huh? The ones with the super high tips and shit, right? Yeah, man, if you can rule this down to a single driver, you can adjust my app, get me some juicy reservations to LAX and stuff. Let's work. You gotta pay me somehow.
Yep. Well, you gotta love the legal loopholes that they find that they wrote and all of that stuff when it comes to these things. Always try and get it in their favor so they're one up.
Yeah, they all think they're smarter than Uber. They are justifiably so, but we're kind of figuring this shit out too. So,
yep. All right. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about the complaints that they're having when it comes to commercial insurance.
yeah, okay, this is in my app. I mean, look at this, Chris. In
I think
LA,
they sent this out to LA drivers just
they
because.
did. Well, yeah, we must be the worst drivers on the planet, or we have a lot of illegals working. We're just in Los Angeles. Uber specifically did this, not this, but we talked about it. They had the announcement with the new weekly earnings screen, like the breakdown and stuff like that, right? More transparency, whatever. So you go in Los Angeles, about 45% of the customer price went towards covering government-mandated commercial auto insurance in July 2024 for rideshare drivers. Uber typically maintains government-mandated commercial auto insurance on rideshare drivers' behalf with at least $1 million in liability coverage from the moment you accept it. So what I did is I took, we should, you know what we should do if we can, Chris? We should put all these screenshots in our community page, because I'm not going to go through and read all this. But what I did for you guys is I went to my app, and then if you got this notification where it says learn what's covered, click on it. If you didn't get it, I got it for you guys. The whole this what it covers is here. Now, if you're in a different city, different state, things may change. In some states, they don't even have UI, uninsured motorist insurance. You're on your own. They definitely don't have P1, period one, meaning your app on, you're waiting for a request. They don't have coverage for that. That's why you need additional rideshare insurance. But please figure out what you have as far as insurance is concerned, and how 45% of the rider fare is going towards that, at least in LA. And we will, I will post these screenshots on the community tab, so you guys will know somewhat what you're covered. You all should know what you're covered. There's a lot. Uber says a lot that, oh, you have $1 million liability insurance. That liability insurance, but we had, Brian Greening a couple times on. That liability insurance for the other side, not for you. So you guys need to really figure out what this coverage is with the $2,500. The $2,500 deductible is universal. Everybody has $2,500 deductible. But what it covers, does it cover uninsured motorists? Does it cover all these other things? What period it covers, P1, P2, P3? Please, we're going to post this. This is for LA. But go into your app, do some clicking, and figure out exactly what your coverage is. Because honestly, I don't think any driver knows what their true coverage is. So we'll post these, and then you guys, please do this for yourselves. And more importantly, P1 coverage.
The one thing that I think is hilarious, there's a couple of things here. First, they may be really smart. They're really, really bad at negotiating prices, because if they're just continuing to go up, and yet we've seen how there's people who are actually going and getting commercial insurance for themselves, and it's much, much more manageable. And you got some really bad people tending to your policies. And then on top of that, Uber typically maintains, well, you know what? How about this? Give the option for drivers to be able to carry their own insurance. And then, hey, that might work too.
There may be some news coming on that. I can't say much, but no, Uber told you, but you do not have period one coverage, sir. I can assure you that you do not have period one coverage.
Yeah, no, you don't have period one.
Okay. You get in a crash period one, it's on you, and Uber's going to go talk to your own insurance company, and your insurance company will go, oh, you're doing rideshare. We're not going to pay for it. You're screwed. You are screwed.
It actually says it on the screenshot right here. It says coverage to repair your car when you're en route to or on a trip is contingent on your personal insurance.
Uber told me their insurance mimics your private policy. No, it does not. No, period two. Look, Uber policy, the way I look at it, is simplified. Okay, please do this. Study what you're covered in your city and in your state. P1, you have no coverage. Okay, you're on your own. And when your insurance company finds out that you are doing rideshare, they will not cover you. Okay, I'm assuring you they will not. They may even kick you off the insurance. P2, you have limited coverage. P2 is you accepted a trip, you're on your way to pick up a rider. P3 is where the top coverage comes in. Okay, that's when the $1 million liability comes in, but that's again not for you with a $2,500 deductible. Comp and collision too with a $2,500 deductible. That $1 million is for the other side. It's not for you. So please study this. And I'm telling you, Chris, if Uber was completely transparent and put what the coverage is, because they complain about, oh, commercial insurance. What they should do is they should have, when they're onboarding drivers, imagine you're a housewife, you're doing 2-3 hours of ride share in between picking up the kids or going grocery shopping and stuff, right? You own a house, your husband has work, and you guys own some assets. None of those part-timers, if they knew what the risks were of doing rideshare, would do rideshare, and we wouldn't have an oversaturated marketplace, to be honest with you. Because Uber hides this. They do not tell anybody. All they say, yeah, we have $1 million coverage. No, go read the small print, people. A lot of people probably wouldn't do rideshare if they had assets, because their ass is on the line, even with that P3 $1 million liability insurance. Okay. So my thing is, please look into this. And you may not want to do rideshare, to be honest with you, if you have some assets to protect. So there you go.
Or just LLC it.
Delivery is definitely worse. Delivery, you have nothing, zero, zip, especially on DoorDash. But so anyway, please do this. We're gonna post these on the community page, like exactly where the polls were. Catherine says, I'm pretty positive they won't cover P1. No, they won't. There's no coverage for P1. Trust me, there isn't. That's why you go get a insurance rider, or a rideshare insurance rider, potentially from your own company. Then you're covered for P1. But anyway, so yeah.
I'm trying to look up a chart or something right now.
They won't. They hide the shit.
Just to
Nobody
show
would
that.
do rideshare. If they knew what the risks were, Chris, nobody would do rideshare, honestly. Because the risks are all on you people. They're not on Uber. I mean, I get what Uber is saying. Yeah, ambulance chasers are suing us right and left. Yeah, who do you think they're going to sue? You're a $160 billion company. I mean, of course they're going to come after you. But then go, commercial. I mean, maybe this will all stop when they start doing in-house. No, sir.
Yeah, who knows? Or just the ability to allow drivers to get their own commercial insurance. Just my thoughts. Just
Yeah, well, I mean, the commercial insurance doesn't work unless you're a full-time driver, though. I mean, if you're working 20 hours a weekend or whatever, you're going to pay a shit ton of money for commercial insurance. So if you're a full-time driver,
I mean, this is I'm talking about more for drivers who are going to be doing this full time. Who's going to
no,
make
it makes sense.
where it makes sense.
That makes
and
sense.
then you got to be able to figure out too, how much did you pay Uber in commercial insurance versus what you can, because
Well,
maybe a driver working 20 hours a week actually might be worth it at that point.
absolutely, yeah. If you're doing 60, 70 hours like my Boston Ironman does every week, bringing in $3K, you should have your commercial insurance. Then you get that money as well. You keep that money, so you earn more money. Correct. Yes, here. Period 1, not covered by Uber or your insurance unless you have rideshare policy. Absolutely. 100% correct. Sergio, if you're in P1, why would you tell your insurance company? You don't have to. They ask Uber. That's what the insurance companies are automatically doing now. If you get in an accident, first thing they do is go to Uber and Lyft, say, is this guy your driver? You don't have to tell me. I don't tell them. I even drive without my stickers all the time, unless I'm going to LAX or something. So to me, it's like, they find out. Look, they will find out. And what is this now? Sergio, are you in a team for private rides? How does one get into one? What do you mean team? No, I'm not in no team. And to each their own when it comes to private rides. I will not do private rides because I have assets to protect. But if you don't have a pot to piss in, you risk it all and you do private trips, friends and family, whatever those are called, knock yourself out. If you're going to do it, make sure your ass is covered if you have assets though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
LLC that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so cool.
All right. Well, they're complaining about a commercial insurance. Probably not going to change for a little while. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated and let you know what's going on there. But let's move on. Let's talk about a couple of the polls that we put up over the last week. Again, thank you very much for everybody who partook in the polls. A lot of great comments, a lot of different things. Let's put them up. So we had 2 polls that went out right here talking about both Uber and Lyft on overall driver experience. And the inspiration was for how much work does Jeremy Bird at Lyft have And
Holy
you
shit,
know,
bro! They're identical almost.
just about, yeah. So
Wow.
we had quite a few people voting on this. Thank you very much. Yeah, so you can see for the top one is Lyft. And for those who are just listening, the top one is Lyft. So we're going to go over that. And the bottom one is Uber. So it's how satisfied are you with Lyft driving experience overall? And one being extremely dissatisfied, two being somewhat dissatisfied, three is neutral, four is somewhat satisfied, and five is extremely satisfied. I bet I know who is the number fives here. Sunshine Man, are you here?
Yeah.
So for Lyft's case, 56% said one or extremely dissatisfied,
Holy shit.
11% said somewhat dissatisfied, 17% said neutral, four were somewhat, or I'm sorry, 12% was somewhat satisfied, and 4% was extremely satisfied. So overall, 67% of people were not satisfied under neutral.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow.
King, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that.
King on my throne. I like that. Hey Sergio, I've noticed that if you decline multiple trips, Uber will make. Yeah, for sure. Do you have advantage versus standard in Philadelphia? Maybe that's the reason. Because you may have fallen under 25% AR or acceptance rate. And if you're under 25% AR, you automatically are a second-class citizen called standard driver, and you will get nothing but trip radars.
I don't
And the
think they
funny
have
thing is,
that yet. I don't think they
yeah,
have that yet, but I guarantee you that the
oh, they have it in LA. I know
algorithm,
they have it. They're I asked them,
well,
I get
I
everything on
guarantee
trip
you
radar,
that the
Chris.
algorithm is probably pushed out to do that.
I'm not buying that. They said, no, we can't do it in LA, but in California because of Prop 22. Uber directly told me this, and I'm going like, no, your guys full of shit because every time I'm doing rideshare, all I'm getting is trip radar. I'm like, or 90% I'm getting on trip radar. And when they go, we don't have advantage versus standard in California. I'm like, yeah, you do, because how am I only getting in trip radar trips? How am I not getting exclusive pings? And once you're in that jail, Chris, you can't get out of it because everyone you accept on trip radar, if you're a standard driver, does not count towards your acceptance rate. What kind of shenanigans is that? I mean, I'm not sure what kind of independent contractor thing is that, this dual citizenship. But this is fascinating to me, these numbers. 56% on Lyft, 55% on Uber, extremely dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Are you really,
Jeremy,
guys,
if you're
extremely
watching,
dissatisfied?
you got some work to do to just raise the overall experience. This isn't even
Somewhat
breaking down into the others.
dissatisfied. Normal. I mean, honestly, they're like identical numbers, bro.
Yeah, just about.
I mean, only one difference is somewhat dissatisfied is 11 on Lyft and 16 on Uber. So extremely dissatisfied and somewhat dissatisfied on Uber is 71%. And on Lyft is 67% combined too. That's massive. That's like 2/3.
Yep.
Why are you all driving if you're unsatisfied? Just
And
stop.
if you're in the chat watching this right now, where are you? And just put 1 through 5. Where are
Yeah,
you
do
on
that or go
Uber and
vote.
Lyft
If you didn't vote, go
overall?
vote. You need more vote. I will send these to the companies. This is final or no? It's still open, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a
go
community
vote.
tab, so
Go
it's
vote. If you
always
did not vote, go on the community page. Go vote for. There are some good polls. I saw you broke them down to like segments of overall earnings and deactivations and support. Right? Yeah, I like those. So we will get like maybe we'll let these run 10 days and then send it to the companies. Oh, earnings. Look at this. So
what
85% of you saying somewhat or extremely dissatisfied? Why are you all driving? Quit. Do something else. This is bullshit.
1% said they were extremely satisfied. Beth, where are you? I know that was you.
837 votes. I mean, we know this is not scientific, but 837 people are a lot of people.
Yep.
Well, that extremely satisfied is not me.
I mean,
Again.
honestly, if you look at the national polls for president, when they're doing the candidate,
Yeah, there's a couple
some
thousand
are
things.
doing 300, 500. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this is you could extrapolate that by using some deductive reasoning, and you can figure it out there.
Look at this, all these ones. Okay. No, I am not
All right,
surprised,
well,
Jeff. But
Sergio, where are you at?
I'm just kind of not surprised, but I'm also like, uh, and Daniel goes, yes, quit so the search can come back. Yeah, let's go talk to your illegal aliens right next to you. But no, this is unbelievable. I mean, I would have thought this would be like not
Oh,
this.
where are
This
you at?
when it comes to deliveries, I am 4
You're
or
somewhat
5. Let's say
satisfied?
5. I'm a 5 when it comes to deliveries. Plus, they float my money. And when it comes to rideshare in LA, I
Wait, so
am
you're
2.
extremely satisfied that they're floating your money?
No,
You're happy
but
that they're
no,
floating
the
your
other
money?
way. 1. I'm 1. And then
Oh,
when it
you're
comes
one,
to
okay, okay.
rideshare, I would say I'm between 2 and 3. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's pretty much where I reign too, 2 and 3,
yeah. 1 is.
because it's
I mean, you look. I can't be
if
extremely
you're at 1,
dissatisfied because
you
I'm
gotta
doing it. I mean, I'm not sure.
but the big thing too is we all know there's a lot of people out there who say, "I'm making $30 an hour, I should be making 40 or $50 an hour."
We talked about that.
Um,
Expectations are too high. It was like,
yeah,
come on.
so the expectation, you think you should be getting paid way more than what you're probably
Yeah,
actually worth.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, you should run a poll like that. What do you
but
have a
you
poll like
should
that
know your
actually?
worth.
Yeah, you put a poll like that, didn't you? One of the ones like what should be the minimum fare? Did you see the results of that one? I'm not going to
What?
say it, but I was like shocked. I go, in your dreams, people. Expectations are
What?
ridiculously high. You
Oh,
know,
the
like what
minimum?
should be the
Yeah.
minimum fare be? Did you see the overwhelming answer? I was like,
Yeah,
you guys are
7 to
dreaming.
10.
This is never going to work. Okay, Haas, what? Let me see Uber again. 71. Was Lyft? Uber was what? 75? Oh my God, 71. Identical.
Just about, yeah, so the 2 that are different, or the couple that are different, here, hold on, let me put it to there's Lyft. Uber's was 71, 14, 8, 5, and 1 versus 71, 10, 10, 7, and 3.
Okay, James, I know you would talk quite a bit or email anyway. I did not drop anything, but talk to Aaron. Aaron knows about it. But we will have something coming up. I don't drop things, trust me. But so 71 and 10, and Uber was what? 71 and 15? 1 and 2?
71, Lyft 71, 10, 10, 7, 3, and Uber was 71, 14, 8, 5, 1.
So 81 and 85% respectively, somewhat dissatisfied or extremely dissatisfied with earnings.
Yep.
That's I if this was like this my like trading or whatever, I wouldn't do it. I quit. I'm just like I can do something else. I don't know.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, here's the thing though. The reason why, I mean, beyond that, there's yes, there's a lot of higher expectations, but the other side of the coin too is how many people have been driving for several years, and so they know, pre-COVID, they know during COVID if they were doing that, even just after when everything was starting to reopen. I mean, look at some of the bonuses and the things that were going on when it came to trying to get drivers back onto the platform. And today it's a lot different because there's an oversaturation of drivers
Yeah.
versus the need for drivers. So there's wild swings that are going on. So I mean, I can understand there where people are like, look, I'm really unhappy, but the question is that regarding earnings overall, meaning how much you're making because there's not many rides coming in, or is it earnings per ride that you're not satisfied with? So that's maybe something that we should break it down a little bit further, when it comes to earnings per ride versus overall earnings. Trying to make certain money, and what the difference is there, because there is going to be a difference, and that is, are you happy with the amount that you're making on a per ride basis, or I mean, why would you accept it in that case? Versus how many ride requests are actually coming in to how much you're taking and all that stuff, versus how many bonuses are even available to you compared to what it could have been, in a previous couple of years.
Yeah, I
Those are a
mean,
lot of
look,
things to take into account too.
I think we did that last week on the State of the Union. That is my seriously one question that I cannot answer. And people ask me, why does Uber have 50% more drivers year over year than last year?
Well, you know what?
7.5
Honestly,
million
let's go
drivers.
back. Let's go back to the behavioral economics. Uh,
Yeah, but at
re-
some point, if you're
that's
doing this and you can't pay your bills, behavior
yeah,
goes
but
all out of the
how
window.
long? How long does the average driver stay on the platform?
Yeah, that's true. 8 months, 10 months max.
So in 8 months, they're going to figure it out. And the average
Yeah,
typical driver, I'm assuming, is going to be part time or a
yeah,
weekend warrior doing this to do some extra money and not really taking into account the expenses or anything, or maybe they are, and or they're figuring it out, and that's why they only last 8 months.
yeah.
So,
Those
and
are
again,
all
that's
people
that's
who,
that's the average. That's the average. That doesn't mean you're forgetting the low end. Like,
yeah, for
okay,
sure.
there's a couple of drivers that sign up. Maybe they do it for a month or two and realize, hey, this ain't worth it, or I'm not making what I thought it was, and then they don't. So, how do they count them into the mix when they're bringing in new drivers? And
Yeah,
again, you go back to that article. He didn't know, and that's the normie. That's the person who hasn't been doing it for a while, doesn't understand. Uber and Lyft did a hell of a marketing job, from 2013 and especially in 2015, 2016, 2017 when they were really pushing to scale. They did a hell of a job at marketing. Hey, come on when you want, earn money when you want, flexible, free. You don't have to
well,
be you're your own boss, that type of thing.
they still do
And
it.
they still do it to a point, but it's not what it was. But the thing is,
Well, no,
for
because
10
we have
years,
channels like
that's what
ours,
people have
you
been
know.
seeing. So
No,
people are thinking that, people are understanding that until they actually get behind the wheel, start driving, start seeing what's going on. They
yeah,
don't understand that. They're still under the
no.
illusion, the same thing that guy is.
That's why I feel like, seriously, that's why I feel like Lyft is running circles, okay, around Uber. Not because I'm gonna see Jeremy tomorrow. I've seen Jeremy, I met him in person at least twice already. The point I'm trying to make is that they see, I'm not saying they are. Tomorrow is gonna tell me quite a bit, right? How he acts amongst a physical, actual hostile crowd. Because people are not happy, okay?
Yep.
And they're going to surround this guy, and hopefully, everybody stays calm and cool. Don't be assholes over there. And the guy, I mean, and they told me they're going to keep doing these pop-ups, in different cities, and listen to the people on the street, not their DAC, that Kool-Aid drinkers over there. So to me, Lyft is really trying to do things. Uber is doesn't give a shit, like
Yep.
nothing, other than me.
Yeah, because they're
With
giving
this
you the other
special app. Now I'm actually concerned that they're gonna wipe my whole phone clean now. That thing is gonna be like blow up at one point.
no, they
One
installed a
morning I'm gonna
keylogger,
wake
so
up,
now
the
they can
phone
get in
is
your
not gonna turn on.
email and everything else. And
Everything is gone, blown up. Oh god, they have accessed my everything.
our
But
text conversations.
yeah, well, yeah, a lot of the texting is between me and them, so they better get used to that. But anyway, so yeah, Lyft is. I really
Look,
think Lyft is doing
hey,
more.
here's the other thing. I was just for shits and giggles, I was looking up a couple of things around my area to see job wise what were people offering and all that. Um, one, bus drivers are always in need, and
Mhm.
there's a local bus driving station not too far from where I am. They're hiring starting $19 to $30 an hour. You're guaranteed 7 hours a day for 5 days a week. So you're at least 35. You get a pension, you're getting employment benefits as well as
Okay.
retirement benefits on top of the pension,
Yeah.
paid CDL, or I don't know if it was paid CDL or not, but you
No, but
basically
I
get
think it makes
CDL.
sense.
Um, and it's 10 months out of the year. You could work in the summer if you wanted to. And this is going on in many areas. That's just the one that I looked at, saw. And it's like, if you're online 80 hours, you're probably working the same time buses are working at. And you probably could go and get a job and do that and then work on, Uber and Lyft during other times when it's busy or not, when you want. And then that way, you're guaranteed a certain earnings. I mean, if you're making 25 an hour for 35 hours, that's pretty decent money. You're not spending the same car maintenance costs because it's a bus that you're driving. So, the school or the bus service that you're actually providing the transportation of is paying for the gas, is paying for the maintenance, is paying for everything, and you're just getting paid on top of that. So, um, the amount that you'd have to spend in order to get to and from the job and home is what you're going to spend. What's that? 6 miles, 8 miles, maybe? I mean, that's a lot better than maybe 200 miles and getting $28 an hour. So, I
Well,
mean, these
um,
are a couple of things. That's just driving a bus, but there's so many other things out there too. And it's like, you could probably figure out a lot of different things that you could. Hell, I mean, it looks like the Golden Arches are hiring for some workers.
yeah, no, I mean, look, there was one question that we'll answer, and then we'll finish today's show. Is which I actually somebody asked me that on Coast to Coast year anniversary show yesterday, which it was. Okay, so Levi from Syracuse asked me, Sergio, what do you think is fair? What should be a fair hourly pay for a rideshare driver, right? And there was somebody just asked that question just now. Here was my answer, and the answer is going to stay the same. I said the risks of driving full time 5,000-6,000 miles a month, it should be commensurate. And I'm not talking about the risks of just driving, because that's 5,000-6,000 miles a month is a lot. The
Mhm.
risks of 30 strangers getting in your car, I mean, those are all added risks, obviously. And if you're driving at night, more risk. But overall, I said, and I want to hear your answer to that too. So I said, whatever the minimum wage is in your city, okay? For example, in LA, minimum wage is $17.50, okay? Or in most cities in California. I said, if you're not earning 50% more than the minimum wage of your city on a gross basis, I said, you should not be driving. That was my answer to that question. So 50% of 1750 would be about $8 more, 25, 26. That's net, by the way. I'm not talking gross. So on gross, you got to get 31, 32, take 6, 7 out. You're at 25. So on a net basis, you should be earning 50% more doing rideshare than you would do at a minimum wage job standing around somewhere. Then I think that's what I think rideshare is worth. Drivers saying $50, $80, $100, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, this is not rocket science. You're driving point A to point B. This is entry level, pretty much. Yes, the risks are higher, and that's the risk premium I'm putting in there. So I'm saying 25 net, I think is fair for doing rideshare.
I mean, it depends too on the services that you're allowed to provide because of the car that you drive. So if you're driving, black or something, then you should be making more. If you're driving a larger vehicle, you should probably be making more too because you have more expenses. If you're driving a Corolla, or if you're driving a Prius and you're thinking $100 an hour, um, bro,
No, I'm talking Uber X and Lyft Standard. Like here, he says $50 an hour. There's not a chance. Master plumbers make $60 an hour. What are you talking about? And the guy has a license. You have no license. You have nothing. I mean, like, I'm not trying to put the rideshare thing down, but it's not rocket science. Driving point A to point B, I think 25 net in a city like LA or California, let's say, I think is reasonably fair. Net. I'm not talking gross. And gross, that would put you at 31, 32. Because you have
Mhm.
$5-6 in expenses if you're driving a reasonably newer car. If not, maybe you have $4 or $5 in expenses every hour on the hour. But that was my answer, and I think it's fair. $50, nobody is going to pay you $50 an hour for any job. Nobody, especially driving people around. It's not going to happen in your dreams. So the expectations are too high. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That's it.
honestly, I mean, I tried thinking about it. Trying to figure it out, but the problem is I think what you had mentioned is probably the best answer because there's so many different areas that have different minimum
On
wages,
average.
different costs of living, and there's a lot of factors to take into account when it comes to that. So, New York City, LA have much different costs of living than say Nebraska or West Virginia, when it comes to things
No,
like that.
I
So,
understand. Yeah.
I mean, clearly it's going to change, but I guess the ability to also make more than that, I think that should be a floor. I don't think that should be the ceiling. Um, and the better you are, the more you're able to do. You should be able to see those earnings go higher. So you might say you're netting. I'm sorry, you're grossing 31 an hour, and I'm going to stick with grossing versus netting. But you're grossing 31 an hour, but maybe you're able to get it to 35 to 40 an hour, maybe 45, because you're doing a lot more, because you're driving a lot longer. You're doing um, a few different things that's going to put you ahead in the pack. So those types of things, I think, can play into it as well too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I honestly think expectations have gone too high, and the comparisons to the good old days is not relevant anymore. Honestly, oh, I would, oh, I used to make, I used to. It's not I used to. That game has changed. There's no more I used to. So this is the new, this is the new paradigm you guys are dealing with, and the companies are what they're doing, what they do. But I think to drive in the old days, I used to make $60 an hour with shits and giggles, hour after hour.
Mhm.
Well, it's not there. So now, I think that's about fair. About 30, 32 gross, 25, 26 for rideshare. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, and I would say again at a floor, but being able to go higher than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, with a little strategy, you can bump that up. With a little know-how, you can bump that up. There you go. Here's Nassif says, yeah, that's what it is. What are you complaining about? That's $40 an hour, 50 hours for $2,000. That's 40 an hour. What do you want to do, Nassif? You want to make $10,000 for 50 to 70? I trade stocks 50 to 70 hours a week. I can't make 2,500 a week. So I am not sure what you're saying. I mean, I know you're complaining you want to make 50 an hour. You are making that money. 50, you said 50. So 50 times 50 is 2,500. You got to drive, man.
Jose, the best insurance that you need to get is what's in your needs. You got to figure out what your needs are and get the insurance that's going to best reflect that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Plus,
mean,
I have no other information. I don't know what state you live in. I don't know what area. There's a lot there. So, there's a insurance guide that the rideshare guy has that can help you and can put it in your state. So, just Google search the rideshare guy and then insurance, and that should be one of the first ones that pop up. And it gives you a full state breakdown. So you just select your state, and it gives you a couple of different places that you can at least see what insurances are there.
yeah, best insurance, you got to do your own due diligence on that. I mean, if you're looking for P1 additional rideshare insurance, most companies, if you have like Farmers, State Farm, they do offer that. Progressive offers it, I think. I don't think Geico does, but you need to do your own research in your own city. Okay, so, all right. Well, I think,
All right. Well, we
yeah,
got one more topic. Let's talk about that. And this is
we do.
some of Lyft's top earners,
Yeah.
top driving or top earning drivers advice. What
Well,
do
I
they
give
have to
Lyft.
say?
This was on their blog. I give them kudos. Uber will never do this, by the way. To all the
No, they
newbies,
just steal behind the wheel
yeah, it's just garbage there over like fucking.
with the Kool-Aid drinkers.
So this is their top earning drivers on the Lyft platform, October 8th, 2024. So they put it on their blog, and they spilled all the secrets out. Those drivers probably watch Show Me the Money. We've been saying these things for 7 years now. Literally, when I started writing for, I've been writing for Rideshare Guy for 7 years now, Chris. Did you know that?
Wow. Congrats.
And doing the monkey thing on the YouTube channel for like almost 23 now, 2.5. But my point is, they came up, they asked these drivers, what is the secret sauce? What is the secret to your success? You know how they ask people who've been married for 50 years, what's the secret? I'm like, shut up. That's the secret. But this is not earth shattering, right? But at least, see, if you're a brand new driver, right? You're just signing on to Lyft, and you read something like this, you have a leg up, because these are all true. These are all things we've been saying for years, right? Know your hometown's event schedule. When it's busy, use the stay in within area filter. Uber would never do this. I swear to God, they would never do this. They would do some hocus pocus stuff. They would put some colors. They put some bars. They go like, go here, go there. Take full advantage of the bonuses. Exactly. We always tell you guys, stack them. If you have bonuses, if you have them, stack them. If you have a right challenge, you use the 5 mile filter, give your back to the water, so you cut half of it off. All these things that we've been saying on this channel, and Lyft asked their 7 drivers or top 7 favorite tips to the top drivers. Use the head to destination filter. This I'm not sure about that. That's a pass on me. DF does not work. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what else these geniuses said. Let the app tell you where the riders are and go there early. No, don't go there early. But although this kind of falls in with the 3P schedule, right? Positioning yourself, I think they're trying to say, right? I kind of agree with that. Opt for schedule rides, absolutely. Like I'm going to try to hopefully get one tomorrow morning going to LAX. And let the app tell you where the other drivers are. That's really not that accurate. So, but this is awesome.
Don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there. Yeah, when they go west, you go
you gotta
east.
zag when they zig and zig when they zag.
Yeah, but in this day and age, Chris, there are so many cars. I've done this like for the last 6 months. Like I turn my passenger app, I look at it, 8 cars here. Okay, let me go here. Next corner, literally next corner I go, there's 8 cars there. I'm like, it's impossible to get away these days. So that's not gonna work. But
Yep.
I tip my hat to Lyft. They're putting out some good stuff to teach, new tricks to dogs, old dogs, new dogs, whatever they are, and we all know these. So
yeah. So pretty interesting. Good to see. I hope that helps some drivers. And
yeah,
obviously, if you're watching RSG, it's going to give you a little bit more insight, updates,
of
and
course.
the other thing too that they don't tell you, and they will not put on that multi-app. Put your time to the highest bidder.
Yes, by far. Like I did a call this morning with some group. There was one driver from College Town. Is College Town, Texas? Is that like Texas A&M? Is that where it's at?
Sure. Sounds right.
Okay. So he was like, I love Lyft. I only do Lyft. And I was like one of the speakers. So I said, why do you only do Lyft? He goes, Uber won't let me on the platform. I go, well, you're on the Lyft platform. How are you not getting on the Uber platform? He goes, well, I don't want to do it anyway. I like Lyft more. I'm like, do you realize 75% of the business of any market's business is Uber, right? Why would you not want to do Uber and Lyft at the same time and, sell your time to the highest bidder? He was like, at the end, he was kind of convinced. I go, email me, whatever. But there are still people, Chris, who are only on a single app. I run into that quite a bit. It blows my mind. I mean, unless you got deactivated,
I mean, I don't get it. I don't know why people have, the inkling to say, hey, I am going to stick on one app and be loyal to that when they don't have any loyalty to you.
Yeah. For Lyft, to me, it used to be the filler, Uber, I've done over 10,000 trips. Probably 90% would be Uber. But now, even on base,
we don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, we don't do that. But on Lyft, I feel like I've done more Lyft lately than Uber. So I don't know. I think, look, man, you need to have all these apps on. You need to fire them all up and just sit and see what happens. See what's coming in. Anyway, so I think we're on overtime already, but all right. So tomorrow, I'm repeating, LAX. I'll be there. Lyft people will be there. Free tacos. Come on down. Last thing. If I may give a plug to my finance channel at Sergio Avedian, I released an amazing interview today with a gentleman. I'm a huge believer in Bitcoin, by the way. So with a gentleman who is protecting himself and his family from debasing of the US dollar. and the gaslighting and the printing machines of the Federal Reserve, what he's doing with Bitcoin. You guys should please go watch that. Even if you're not interested, you will learn quite a bit. So my channel is at Sergio Avidian. Go check it out. And that's it. I'm done. We're going to say goodbye. We're going to say stay healthy and stay safe.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next week before Halloween. Woo-hoo.
Maybe Chris's last week.
I don't know. We'll see, right? I'm kind of on call, but it's definitely going to be by the 13th.
It'll be early.
So, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to either be early but it's pretty much any time now until
Chris is quitting.
No,
we're both quitting. You know what I should do? We should call Harry and say, okay, Chris is on what is it? Not maternity leave. What kind of leave are you on as the husband? Huh?
Maternal leave?
No, you're not the maternity. You're not the maternal. Paternal. Okay, you're on paternal leave, so we'll just take 2 weeks off together and just go. We just cool off the ride share for like 2 weeks. Yeah. No, I'm gonna come in and we're gonna do we're gonna do shots. We're gonna answer all the flying comments. You do some Q&A. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, we will see you guys most likely next week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be coming in.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna be coming early, except for maybe like the week that he's due around that time, about a week early. But other than that, I don't think so. You got me for probably 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. Thumbs up, please. Much love. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
And we'll see you next week.